Hey up, it's Stephen, that old Yorkshire geek, and it's time to review episode 7 of season 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks. This one's called Fully Dilated. It's nothing to do with pregnancy, as kind of suggested last week. I mean, you think that, don't you? Because that's a phrase, isn't it, to do with pregnancy. Don't think it is Keiko O'Brien going to be in it again and all that stuff. But no, it's not about that. It's about time travel, not time travel. About time dilation, that's what it's about. A la Blink of an Eye. I think it's Blink of an Eye. No, is that what they called it? That Voyager episode where they were essentially stuck for not very long in this planet's upper atmosphere, but because of time dilation on the surface of the planet, thousands of years went by. And it's kind of related to that, sort of. But anyway, so... but before we start, though, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and drop a comment. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Throw super thanks my way, or become a member, or what's other stuff? Join my Patreon. Explore the description for links for my Patreon and merch and my books and other websites and stuff like that. Right, so let's just have a look at this. I'm not on screen, by the way, today, because I just can't be bothered. I've actually got something on my TV screen behind me, and I can't be bothered changing it because I'm lazy. I'm watching a film, and so I've just paused it while I do this. Anyway, whatever. Right. So let's get on with this episode, shall we? It's a good episode, by the way. I did enjoy it, I must admit. So off we go. Right, here we are, a blank screen. Right, we begin. The Cerritos is fixing another quantum fissure. It's the first time they've kind of been mentioned properly in the series for a few episodes, but here we are. There's the Cerritos, and where are we? There we go. There's another quantum fissure that they've been sent to repair because a purple Enterprise D came through, and they've sent that back through. But it turns out not all of it has been sent through. I don't know if there's anything hidden in this debris field here. Looks a lot of machinery equipment and stuff in it. So I don't know what's going on here, what this is from. But there you go, another dimensional fissure. And remember, we've been told that they're artificial, so somebody's creating these, it seems. There we go, a purple alternative universe version of the Enterprise D, and there we go. And I think they've sent that back already. Or it's gone back. There we go, the battling evil clones of Tasha Yar. So is that going to come into effect in the last few episodes? Tasha Yar clone, so is Denise Crosby returning? I don't know, but anyway. So, also in this episode, apparently the position of senior science officer is up for grabs. And you'd think it'd go, but every time you think senior something, you'd think a higher rank person would get it, wouldn't you? But obviously not so. I mean, look at Ensign Kim in Voyager. He was the chief of operations, the head of operations for 7 years, and he was an ensign. But anyway, but the position of senior science officer, I don't know what happened to the previous one. Was there one? I don't know. It's something that in the Berman era, the science officer role kind of became redundant because they were all scientists. I know on Deep Space Nine, Dax was the science officer, which is fair enough. But used on starships, I don't know, the science officer role kind of blurred in with other departments because they were all scientists, weren't they? But I know Janeway said she was Tom Paris's dad's science officer on the Albertani, but apart from that, they never really mentioned science officers because they're all scientists usually, aren't they? I'm waving my arms about, you can't see me, but never mind. But on the Cerritos, the role is up for grabs, and Tendi and Tallinn, who is in it, and a good episode for Tallinn is this, are in the running for the role, even though they're only junior grade lieutenants. I should say lieutenant, shouldn't I? But I don't. But anyway, right. So there you go. That's Captain Freeman telling them that. So obviously Tallinn isn't bothered either way. I think she'd like the position, but she's not been emotional about it, and Tendi is being very emotional all about it anyway. So, they pick up a signal. There's Rutherford. He's growing a beard. Remember, he's decided, I think it was in the last episode or the one before, I can't remember which one, that they were going to do what Boimler were doing, taking the advice of alternate universe Boimler from the red pad that they got from there. So he's now growing his own beard and doing a better job of it than Boimler, because he's got a nice 5 o'clock shadow there. So anyway, there's he's coming along. He's got some nice mutton chops coming along now as Boimler. So he's getting there, isn't he? Only 3 episodes to go. I'm sure by the end he'll have a full face of fluff. Anyway, there we go. Detecting the Starfleet power signature on the planet. So they must have something, and it's going to be from the Purple Enterprise D. So they've got to go and investigate it. Right, so there we go. That's showing them. Cool Purple Enterprise. So they've got to go and investigate that. So anyway, then we get the opening titles, which is cool. There we go, all that stuff. And I'm going to say it again. Why is that there? That bit. There's this little indentation with rooms and windows, and you're just looking at each other across the hull. But anyway, never mind. Right, so here we go. They have to go down onto the planet. Tendi and Tallinn and Mariner are going. Mariner's all for it, 'cause remember she's now a model officer. But it's a pre-industrial society. It's kind of like, Middle Ages sort of thing. So they have to go down in disguise. So they're changing their skin colour, and they're giving them these antennae. They're a bit like thick Andorian antennae, but I think they call them horns. But anyway, because they don't move about. So I suppose they're horns, but they kind of look like thick Andorian antennae. There you go. Anna doesn't like doing undercover plastic surgery jobs. Anyway, there we go. They've done one horn. They don't stick it on. She does this. She has a machine, and it grows the. There we go. Hang on, see if we can see it. There you go. It grows it like that. I don't know what purpose they serve for these inhabitants, but anyway, off they go. No, it's they're not all the same shade, by the way. As in humans are not all the same shade, are they? So anyway, but right. So so they go to the transporter room now, and it's Boimler and Rutherford on duty in the transporter room, and for some reason, I don't know if it's explained, they decide that they're drinking these cocktails in the transporter room, even though food and drink is not allowed in the transporter room, apparently. And they're complimenting each other's facial fuzz. Right, so they arrive. So off they go, and they're told that because of the time dilation, the planet's core is similar to the planet's core that were in the episode Blink of an Eye on Voyager, or whatever it's called. And so that means there's a time dilation effect going on. So for every second that they're on the planet, in Voyager, in Cerritos time, they'll be on the planet for a week. So they're just going to beam them down and then beam them straight back up again. And like I said, a significant amount of time will have passed. Right, so there you go. That's what he's telling that planet's core, space-time differential. So they're going to just beam them down, and from the Cerritos' point of view, they just beam straight back up again. Right. So that's what they've given them this like a necklace that's going to beep, that's going to tell them to get to the beam out point, because they can't be seen beaming in and beaming out, because remember the Prime Directive and all that stuff. Right, so, and as they're beaming them down, they spill the drinks all over the transporter console. You'd think they'd be waterproof, wouldn't you? Because they're just glass, essentially, aren't they? So you'd think it wouldn't matter. But it does, because they've spilled it all over and they can't beam them back. Right, so they're heading to town. Let's say they're looking for this crashed shuttle. So there we go, they're heading to town. It's, let's say, pre-industrial, so, let's say, early Western, I suppose, or medieval Europe, stuff like that. Anyway, that's roughly the level of technological development. Let's say Tendy's. Oh, a brick! They have bricks in the 24th century. Obviously not. I forgot his name. What's his name? I've forgotten. But he's this creepy bloke that follows him around. There we go, Snell. He follows him around, and he's kind of the baddie of the episode because he uncovers what's really going on. Anyway, so they're out looking for this crashed shuttle. They pass this house that's all dilapidated and's got a tree leaning on it and stuff. So it's obviously an abandoned house. Right, they find the remains of the shuttle and they start destroying it with the phasers, leaving no traces. Like that, look. There we go. But then they find something. They look underneath this debris, and there we go. It's Data's head, purple Data's head from the Purple Enterprise. So this is reminiscent of Time's Arrow, where they found Data's head under the San Francisco thingamabob. I forgot what Presidio. That's it, the Presidio, didn't they? Found him under there. It gets reactivated. Tendi reactivates him, so we get a guest spot from Brent Spiner, which is cool. But anyway, so they take it, but he's obviously been spying on them, and they say, "Oh, we're just looking for globbers, which is the currency." And Tillin distracts him by doing some juggling. She picks up some stones because they said they're from they were travelling performers, and she does some juggling. Impresses Snell. Anyway, but not impressed Tendi, look, because she's a bit fed up of Tillin being great at everything. Anyway, so they're waiting for the beam up point, but obviously it's not happening because as we go back to the Cerritos, there we go. They're still panicking. They can't clean their cocktails off the transporter console, so they're freaking out. Remember, every second that passes, a considerable amount of time passes down on the planet. They're ripping the clothes off and trying mopping it up, and it's not working. What the hell this cocktail's made of? Anyway, so they decide they're going to go and they stay in this abandoned farmhouse. You can see it's got a windmill. They've moved the tree. Maybe they phasered it and got rid of the tree and fixed the roof. Look, so they've been living in there. I think it says like several months or something has passed. There we go. 4 months have passed. So they're all up to something there. Go, Marina's fed up. Tendy's been out doing sciencey things and collecting specimens. I can't remember what. Yes. Tillin's been growing crops essentially and making grain using the windmill so they can have food and bread and whatever, I suppose. But Marina decides she's heading into town. She's going to go to a bar and pick up some guys, but there we go. Snell's still lurking around them, so she chases him off. Oh, she mentions Carbon Creek. That's another similar thing, isn't it? Although that Vulcans stuck on Earth in the 1950s. A cool episode of Enterprise, one of my favourites. Oddly enough. Right, so Tendi decides too many names beginning with T in lower decks, isn't there? We've got Ta'ana, Tendi, Tillin. Anyway, she's going to get Data's head working again, and she builds, a device, a wind-up device or whatever to get power to him, like Spock did in City on the Edge of Forever, using stone knives and bear skins. But it works, and it starts working, and it's just like our Data, except it's purple. So it looks like these purple Enterprise people are pretty much the same as us, except they're just purple for some weird reason. But anyway, they strike up a bit of a friendship. But he's still watching them, look. And he starts to think they're witches. And they're doing magical stuff. Anyway, so Tendi tells him about that, the senior science officer's position, and that she wants to get it because Orion's usually are science officers. But anyway, Data's giving all these pearls of wisdom. Meanwhile, Marina's heading for the bar. She wants to pick up this fella, but she pokes him in the eye with her horn thing, antenna, whatever the hell they are, and ends up in prison for it. Weirdly, there we go. In jail. Anyway, meanwhile, on the Cerritos, they're still trying to clean up this console. They even try licking it, look. Because even more time's passing. Does it say? Oh, there we go. It says there, doesn't it? 7 months now was passed. Like I said, probably 30 seconds or something like that's passed up on the Cerritos as they're trying frantically to clean the console. But there you go. She's been using hydroelectric power now to power the things for Data's head. She covers him up because Tillin's arrived, and she's been growing fruits and vegetables that are massive, using her science skills, which just annoys Tendi even more. But anyway, she ends up going to town to sell them and stuff like that. And it's getting Tendi even more annoyed, and she's gives up sleep to out-science Tillin, and she's getting more and more irritable. Anyway, right, so she's released finally from prison. Is Mariner, after several months, and here's Tillin selling her giant fruits and vegetables. But Mariner decides she wants to become a valuable member of the community, so she puts out this fire. Because she's stupid. And she grabs one of them giant grapes and uses the juice from it to put out the fire. But it's their eternal flame. It's a monument thing. So she ends up in jail again. There you go. See, they're still licking the console clean if they can. Then now, how far? There were 10 months now since arrival. Tendi fell asleep at the table, drooling. Anyway, so she's still working away, trying to out-science Tillin. Anyway, she decides to go into town. She takes Data's head in her bag, and she comes across Tillin. There we go. Tillin's become... She thinks she's selling them medicines, advanced medicines, but it's not. It's like shampoo, a hair tonic, or something like that. And she's become very wealthy. So they've all got lovely hair now in that town. And she's become really, really wealthy. They're still trying to clean the thing. Finally, they get it working. So they send the signal so that to get to the beam out point. Oh no, she hasn't taken Data's head. Or is this sometime later? I don't know. Hang on, let's have a look again. Oh no, yes, she did take Data's head. That's it. As she's at her stall. There we go. The necklace starts beeping. So she'll be heading back now. They've got to find a way to get Mariner out of prison. He's still advising Tendi and saying, it's not, whoever's best for the job will get it. Overworking yourself won't do you any good. But there you go. If you are tired, you should sleep and all that stuff. But she doesn't notice. Look, Snell's up there spying on her. So I knew it. There you go. Tillin's come back, and she's fallen asleep again, by the way. Goes back saying we've got to prepare for transport. The signals come, but then there you go. He arrives and he knocks them both out and ties them up. There they are. He's tied them up, calling them witches, and there you go. He's going to go to town and come with an angry mob, probably with torches and pitchforks and stuff. Anyway, so here they have a rapprochement. Is that how you pronounce it? Probably not. Where Tendi says she was jealous of Tillin being cool at everything and great, and she thought Tillin was trying to get the job of senior science officer, and obviously she wanted that job, and Tillin was saying no, she was just doing what she thought were best and all that stuff, and she was trying to help out Tendi as well, But she said, well, obviously, that hasn't worked, so I'm going to withdraw my application because obviously I can't communicate very well. So anyway, so they end up friends again. She gets Data's head working again because it'd been turned off, and she gets turned on again, and they chews through the rope so they can escape. Meanwhile, Mariner's in prison, and she's fashioned a flute out of soap, a soap flute, and she's playing, tunes. I think she even mentions the Inner Light thing, with Captain Picard. I think that's even mentioned. That he spent an entire lifetime in a few minutes, and I think that's even mentioned here. But she can't play it. But she's made friends with the other inmates. They go, "You're one of us." And says, "Oh," but he says, "Even though several of us are murderers," I don't want to know that. Anyway, so there. I remember they're very rich now because of Tillin's hair tonics. So they bail her out of prison, so they head out. She says, Can I take some of my friends with me? No, he says, "Sorry guys, I tried." Right, so get ready to beam out. So they're heading out, but he arrives with his angry mob. So there's the witches are there. Look, there they are. Look in that bag. They've got an undead head that can talk. And gets there we go. He opens the bag, but it's just one of them giant grapes with a face drawn on it. Kind of reminded me of Wilson from Castaway, that Tom Hanks film. But obviously that's not a talking head, so they've outwitted him, and the town obviously thinks he's crazy, and he's saying, "No, we're talking." So, "Oh yes, of course it was. You're a loser." So anyway, they head out. They've got the real Data's head they had hidden away. Anyway, so there they are. They're getting ready to beam out, but Snell's still on his way, but they beam out just in time, and he doesn't see where they've gone. Anyway, so then we've been there for about a year. What the hell happened? Oh, look, we spilt the stuff on all that stuff, and she plays popping. You're not allowed food and drinks in the transporter room, and I still don't know why they had them there. Maybe it mentioned it, I don't know. Anyway, meanwhile, there's Data's head talking to Freeman, and he mentions that he's essentially been on an away mission for a year with Tillin and Tendi, and Mariner, obviously, but she spent most of it in prison, didn't she? And he has a suggestion for how they should proceed about the senior science officer's position, and obviously the answer is they were both made senior science officers, both joint or co senior science officers, so everything's worked out well, and so they're going to celebrate by having some drinks, and she's going to play her flute. Obviously they're not going to have food in the transporter room again, but they don't like her playing. And Data's head gets put in a probe, and that looks more like a photon torpedo tube, but they say it's a probe, and they fire it off, much like Spock were fired off to the Genesis planet in Star Trek 2. But they fire it off into the rift, and then I presume they close the rift. After that, it doesn't show them closing it, but I can guess they do. They close the rift, and that's that one done. But there we go. That's the end of that episode. A pretty good episode, I must admit. This is a pretty good episode, is this one. And we saw some rifts again, finally, after God knows how long, how many episodes. But yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one with that. But we're still no closer to knowing who's doing these rifts. Even though Rift were in it, it didn't really push that overarching storyline along. We don't learn anything more about these rifts, do we? But anyway, it was still a cool, fun episode that were quite very funny in places. And we've now got a couple of senior science officers now, so they shouldn't be calling it Lower Decks anymore. I mean, if they carried on, they should start up. By the way, what's her face wasn't in it, was she? The new Lower Decker, the one that's descended from Zeus. We didn't see her. She's still in the brig. Maybe, don't know. But yeah, it was cool. A good episode. One of the better ones of this season, in my opinion. It was a lot of fun. And well worth a watch. And now we've only got 3 episodes left now, haven't we? 8, 9 and 10. Yes, 3 episodes left. So we'll be getting to the nitty-gritty soon, I hope, about what these rifts, what's causing, or who's causing these rifts, because we know they're artificial now. But anyway, right, so there we go. So that's that for episode 7. Fully dilated, nothing to do with pregnancy. By the way, quite a few TNG crew members got mentioned in this. Well, we had Data's head, obviously. He mentioned his best friend Geordie, and Worf were mentioned as well, which were nice. And so obviously that purple Enterprise is pretty much the same as ours by the sounds of it, except everything's purple. Right, so there we go. By the way, I'll give that one. That one's going to get an 8 out of 10 from me. I wish we'd learned more about the rifts, but we've got 3 more episodes. Hopefully they'll do something with that. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for that one. A lot of fun. Right, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there until next time. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and comment and all that stuff, and explore the description for all the links in there. Right, so thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, live long and prosper, and until next time, I'll say thee.